bad the condition is there right now. And in fact, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has in fact now tweeted and said that he's concerned about the situation and he's praying for the safety of all who are in the country. And India has already pitched in and is ready to offer any and possible assistance to both Thailand and Myanmar. To remind our viewers, Prime Minister Modi was expected to visit Thailand and Sri Lanka next week, in fact, to attend the BIMSTEC summit in Thailand. It is yet to be seen whether that visit will still continue, given this massive earthquake and the level of destruction that we are seeing right now in the visuals that have come out from the earthquake. So it is yet to be seen just how bad the destruction is. And we'll keep you updated on as and when we get more details regarding the earthquake and the number of casualties and people injured. Back to you.
Well, thank you so much for getting us the latest. Disha, for our viewers just joining in fact, central Myanmar has been jolted by two massive earthquakes measuring 7.7 and 6.4 magnitude. Not only Myanmar, Bangkok, Thailand's Bangkok, there's been widespread damage reported from Bangkok as well. And not only that, tremors have been felt as far as Manipur and Kolkata in India and Chattogram in Bangladesh. Russian news agencies reported early on Friday that President Vladimir Putin in fact suggested Ukraine could be placed under a form of a temporary administration to allow for new elections and the signature of the key accords with the aim of reaching a settlement in the 3 years long war. Putin also said he believed US President Donald Trump, who has improved ties with Moscow, sincerely wanted to end the more than 3-year conflict. Putin added that Russia was steadily moving towards the achievement of its goal in the conflict. Over in the US, a federal judge has announced he will order the US government to preserve messages from the Signal chat where top Trump.2 officials discussed plans to in fact bomb Houthi targets in Yemen and discuss them real time. Now, the chat has since become the subject of a national controversy stemming from the accidental inclusion of a journalist, rather the editor-in-chief of the Atlantic magazine in the discussion, now which revealed sensitive military information as well. Meanwhile, on Thursday, Judge James Boasberg ruled that the administration of President Donald Trump must take measures to keep records of the full conversation between the 11th of March and the 15th of March, when the journalist had in fact access to the conversation on the Signal group. Moving northwards, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney has called President Donald Trump's new tariffs on auto imports unjustified and in violation, in fact, of Canada's existing trade agreement, and has also said that Ottawa would, in fact, impose retaliatory trade actions of our own. Speaking in Ottawa, Carney promised Canada's retaliation would have maximum impact in the United States and minimum impacts here in Canada. Meanwhile, Trump on Wednesday said that he was placing 25% tariffs on auto imports, and to underscore his intention, he also stated this is permanent. Now, Carney spoke after chairing his special cabinet committee meet on U.S. relations. Listen in.
And our response to these latest tariffs is to fight, is to protect, and to build. We will fight the U.S. tariffs with retaliatory trade actions of our own that will have maximum impact in the United States and minimum impacts here in Canada.
U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance is visiting Greenland on Friday following President Donald Trump's renewed push, in fact, for U.S. control over the Danish territory. Now, the trip, which has been scaled back after criticism, includes a visit to the U.S. military base at Tifuk, but skips a controversial dog sled race appearance that had angered Greenlandic and Danish authorities. Greenland's acting Prime Minister called the visit a provocation, while Denmark's Prime Minister has labelled it unacceptable. Now, the visit comes as Greenland's political landscape remains unsettled after recent elections, adding further to the diplomatic strain. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has reaffirmed Washington's ironclad commitment to the Mutual Defense Treaty with the Philippines. Speaking in Manila after meeting President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., Hegseth emphasized that the need for deterrence in the South China Sea due to rising tensions with Beijing. He conveyed President Donald Trump's strong support for the alliance, highlighting cooperation on economic and military fronts. Marcos also welcomed the visit, calling it a strong message of U.S. commitment to regional stability. Now, the trip is part of Hegseth's broader Asia tour amid growing geopolitical challenges. Reports suggest that the United States has paused contributions to the World Trade Organization or the WTO for 2024 and 25. This as U.S. President Donald Trump's administration ramps up efforts to cut or slash government funding. The Trump administration is retreating from global institutions it sees as at odds with its America First economic policies. The WTO had an annual budget of around $232 million in 2024, and the United States, in fact, was due to contribute about 11% of that budget based on a fee system that is proportionate to its share of global trade. In a major overhaul, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services will lay off 10,000 workers. That's right, it'll lay off 10,000 workers and even shut down entire agencies. Now, this including the ones that oversee billions of dollars in funds for addiction services and even community health centers across the country. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has criticized the department he oversees as an inefficient, sprawling bureaucracy in a video announcing the restructuring. Now, he faulted the department's 82,000 workers for the decline in America's health. Overall, the department will downsize to 62,000 positions, losing nearly a quarter of its staff, 10,000 jobs through layoffs, and another 10,000 workers who took early retirement and voluntary separation offers encouraged by President Donald Trump's administration. Public health experts, doctors, current and former HHS workers, and even congressional Democrats quickly panned Kennedy's plans, warning that they could in fact have untold consequences for millions of Americans dependent on the same. Australians will go to the polls on the 3rd of May for general elections, with high costs of living and a shortage of housing likely weighing against the government as Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's centre-left Labour Party seeks a second three-year term. Now, Albanese drove to Governor-General Sam Mostyn's official residence on Friday to trigger the election and even announce the date later at a news conference at the Parliament House. Listen in.
Your vote has never been more important, and your choice has never been more clear. This election is a choice between Labor's plan to keep building or Peter Dutton's promise to cut. That is the choice.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said that the country has revoked at least 300 foreign students' visas as part of President Donald Trump's efforts to clamp down, in fact, on pro-Palestinian protesters across university campuses in the country. Now, Rubio was asked to confirm how many student visas exactly has the administration revoked in its crackdown on rhetoric at universities that it considers anti-Israeli or anti-Semitic. Now, the remarks follow immigration officials' detention of a doctoral Turkish student attending Tufts University, an arrest the secretary has vehemently defended.
Maybe more. Might be more than 300 at this point. We do it every day. Every time I find one of these lunatics, I take away their visa.
You're saying it could be more than 300
sure,
visas?
I hope. At some point, I hope we run out because we've gotten rid of all of them. But we're looking every day.
Steel magnate Lakshmi Mittal is considering leaving the UK in response to the Labour government's decision to, in fact, abolish the non-dom tax regime, making him one of the wealthiest business figures to potentially relocate, the Financial Times has reported. Now, Mittal, who's been based in the UK for nearly 30 years now, 3 decades, has told associates that his likely departure, in fact, is driven by the government's move to end tax exemptions for certain foreign income and gains, the report stated. Ranked 7th, in fact, on the Sunday Times rich list last year with an estimated £14.9 billion fortune, Mittal owns high-value properties across Europe, the US and Asia as well. Helicopters dumped water over a burning forest in South Korea on Thursday as fire crews struggled to contain the country's worst ever wildfires, which have already claimed 28 lives, forced at least 37,000 to flee their homes, and have destroyed thousands and thousands of structures and vehicles altogether. Now, multiple wildfires fueled by strong winds and dry weather have been raging across South Korea's southeastern regions since last Friday. The government has mobilized thousands of personnel, dozens of helicopters and other equipment to, in fact, extinguish the blazes. But gusty winds are hampering their efforts. The fatalities include a pilot whose helicopter crashed during efforts to contain a fire Wednesday, and 4 firefighters and other workers who died earlier after being trapped by fast-moving flames. Meanwhile, authorities haven't disclosed details of civilian deaths, except that they are mostly in their 60s or older who found it difficult to escape quickly or who even refused orders to evacuate. Officials suspect human error caused several of these blazing wildfires. It's time we slip into a short break. I'll see you on the other side.
Hi, it's Phoebe from Auto Trader's monthly electric car giveaway, and we're pleased to say that you've won a brand new electric car.
It's a dream, honestly, it really is a dream. Oh my god. Me and my boyfriend talk about the Auto Trader competition every single month. I was waiting for the "no, you haven't won."
Say hello to the UK's most personalised Mother's Day card. And now get 20% off all cards this Mother's Day.
Moonpig.com. Whether you're setting up a new nest, starting your own flock, or they just keep on growing, get more time to pay with VeryPay. You can buy now and pay up to 12 months later. And pay no interest, with nothing to pay at checkout. And you can easily keep track of payments in the Very app. More time to pay with VeryPay.
Right now, a child like Clara needs Childline to answer their call because they're being abused, neglected, or bullied. A child who just wants the pain and fear they're experiencing to stop.
Hello, you're through to someone you can talk to.
For children being abused, Childline is a lifeline.
Something's happened with Mum's boyfriend.
That first call can literally be a life-changing call. In so many cases, we are the first people a child will reach out to. Childline needs your support so we can be there 24 hours a day. Please make sure a child gets the help they need and give just £2 a month now. Call 0800 702 2976 or search NSPCC. You can help us be there for the thousands of children who urgently need someone to talk to. When a child needs to make a life-changing call, you can help make sure we are there to answer it. Thank you.
People's Postcode Lottery's big spring win is back.
Yes, in the April draws, you and your neighbours could win a share of
£25.4 million! Own or rent, if your door is in the draw, you're in with a chance to win.
Could your door be a winning one?
Sign up before midnight on the 31st of March.
A share of £25.4 million must be won. So,
is your door in the draw?
Sometimes it's the little things that remind us of them. Stay close, even when you're far apart. Send money worldwide with Remitly.
Welcome back. You're watching the World Report. I am Arjun, Samar, Mahendran. On to some business news now. NASA and Boeing are pushing ahead, in fact, with efforts to certify the Starliner spacecraft for crewed flights. Now, this comes following a technical failure during its debut mission. The spacecraft's propulsion system malfunctioned. forcing an 8-day mission to extend into a 9-month stay for NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams. NASA is now working with Boeing to resolve these issues with a series of propulsion tests planned through the spring and even summer. Meanwhile, officials have said that the next crewed flight could take place as early as late 2025 or early next year. The Starliner project has already cost Boeing over $2 billion, adding to the aerospace giant's recent challenges. TikTok Shop is expanding its e-commerce platform into France, Germany and Italy, Western Europe, despite ongoing uncertainty over its future in the US. The shopping feature, which has been available in the UK ever since 2021, gained traction in the US last year but now faces regulatory challenges unless its Chinese parent company, ByteDance, in fact, finds an American buyer. In Europe, TikTok Shop is partnering up with major brands like Carrefour and cosmetics retailer Cosnova as it aims to onboard more local sellers. Executives have said that they expect a faster rollout in the UK, where initial adoption was slower due to the unfamiliar business model. The Nvidia-backed company Quake has announced on Thursday that they are reducing the size of its IPO. The company is now selling 37.5 billion shares for $40 each, which is 23.5% less than what was originally planned. The sale is expected to raise about $1.5 billion in value Quake at a staggering $23 billion on a fully diluted basis. Intel has announced that 3 of its board members will not seek re-election at the company's 2025 annual meeting, marking the latest shake-up in its leadership. Now, the retiring members include former Medtronic CEO Umar Ishraq, UC Berkeley Engineering Dean Shu Jain King Lu, and former University of Pennsylvania professor Liza Lavizo Murray. The move is part of Intel's broader strategy under newly appointed CEO Lip Bhutan, who aims to refocus the company on semiconductor expertise. In recent months, in fact, Intel has appointed 2 industry veterans to its board, signaling a push to reclaim its leadership in the chip-making sector. The board will now shrink to 11 members. Toyota's global production rose for the second straight month in February, driven by a 16% increase in domestic output. The world's largest automaker also reported a 6% overall production boost, with Japan sales surging 28%. However, overseas growth remained modest at just 2%. The North American sales fell 7%, partly due to inventory shortages. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump's newly announced 25% tariff on imported cars is raising concerns about supply chain disruptions and even potential economic impacts. In the world of sports, Novak Djokovic is only 2 wins away from his 100th career title after a hard-fought victory over Sebastian Corda at the Miami Open. The 24-time Grand Slam champion rallied from 5-2 down in the second set, stealing the win with an ace. Meanwhile, world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka stormed into her first Miami Open final with a dominant 6-2, 6-2 win over Jasmine Paolini. Meanwhile, Djokovic will face either Carlos Alcaraz or Daniil Medvedev in the semi-finals, while Sabalenka awaits a winner of Iga Swiatek versus Coco Gauff in the women's final. In the world of basketball, the NBA is moving away from the mini-tournament format used in the season's All-Star game. This after it failed to boost excitement for viewership. Commissioner Adam Silver admitted that the format was indeed a miss, with long breaks and a lack of intensity on the court. Viewership dropped 13% from last year, making it one of the least watched All-Star games in NBA's history. Now, the league is considering new ideas ahead of the next year's event in Inglewood, California, which will air during the Winter Olympics. Meanwhile, the NBA is also exploring the creation of a European basketball league in partnership with FIBA. Now, this proposed league would feature 16 teams, 12 permanent clubs and 4 rotating qualifiers, while no teams have been confirmed as of now. Reports suggest talks have been held with owners of European soccer giants Paris Saint-Germain and Manchester City. Silva has also mentioned that the NBA sees strong potential in Europe and is now moving into a more serious evaluation phase. However, the plan would still require approval from NBA team owners before moving forward. In the world of football, UEFA has opened an investigation into potential disciplinary breaches by several Real Madrid players following their Champions League match against Atletico Madrid. The inquiry focuses on Antonio Rüdiger, Kylian Mbappe, Dani Ceballos and Vinicius Jr. amid allegations of improper conduct during their post-match celebrations, Spanish media has been reporting. On the other side of the aisle, Atletico Madrid filed a complaint claiming Real players taunted their supporters, prompted objects to be thrown from the stands as well. UEFA has not detailed the incident but has stated that further updates will follow. Meanwhile, Real Madrid has yet to comment on the matter. In the world of entertainment, the author of Vampire Diaries, Elle Smith, has passed away aged 66. Smith's partner, Julia Devola, and her sister, Judy Clifford, confirmed that the author died in a hospital after dealing with the effects of a rare autoimmune disease for over a decade. Smith lived in California's Danville. An original body model of E.T., also known as extraterrestrial, needs a new home. The 3-feet-tall prop created by special effects and makeup artist Carlo Rambaldi that was used in the 1982 classic E.T. the Extraterrestrial is up for auction at Sotheby's through the 3rd of April, and it's expected to fetch as much as $1 million. Now, the model is part of an auction called There Are Such Things, 20th Century Horror, Science Fiction and Fantasy on Screen, dedicated to props, posters and other artwork from sci-fi, horror and fantasy films. Other items up for auction include sketches of E.T. along with 2 models of sandworms created by Rambaldi and used on screen also in the 1984 version of Dune, directed by David Lynch. Listen in.
So today we're at Sotheby's Auction House in New York, here in our galleries, taking a look at our There Are Such Things sale, which is sci-fi, horror, and fantasy on the screen. So we're looking at props, posters, original artwork, screen-used artifacts, all coming from those categories in the realm of film.
Well, that's all we have for you this Friday. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'll see you on Monday.
The India-US strategic partnership is one that's been developing now over the last several decades, and
We know that water is a sacred gift. It gives life, gives health, and purifies. That's why it's shocking that so many families don't have the basics that we take for granted, like clean water and soap. This means they're much more likely to get deadly diseases like diarrhea and cholera. And it's often their kids that suffer the most. Today, over 800 children will die from dirty water, no proper toilet, or just because they can't wash their hands. This Ramadan, please donate your zakat and sadaqah to provide the gift of clean water. To donate, please search Water Aid Zakat. Your donation can help buy pipes and taps for clean water, bricks and cement for washing stations, and of course, soap. This Ramadan, please donate your zakat and sadaqah to give the gift of clean water to those families that need it most. To donate, please search Water Aid Zakat. Thank you.
It's nice to have choices in life. Tony here chooses to get a new phone every year by exchanging his old one. Don't worry, Mike, you can get a new phone too. Big love to Gordon, who chooses a lifetime warranty to keep his phone lasting longer, just like his romance. Oh, love it. Keep your phone lasting longer, or you could get a new phone every year. The choice is yours at Vodafone.
The problems children face can follow them everywhere. At home, online, at school. That's why the NSPCC must always be here, generation after generation, to keep children safe. With a gift in your will, you can help children face new challenges so they don't have to suffer them alone. Request your free guide today to find out more about leaving a gift in your will to the NSPCC. Just call 0800 702 2955 or search NSPCC Gifts in Wills. Your gift could help make sure children have support and protection long into the future, whatever that future looks like.
Sometimes it's the little things that remind us of them. Stay close, even when you're far apart. Send money worldwide with Remitly.
This point, but eventually he will. However, till that time, he is seeking protection. So, in most likelihood, Madras High Court is to hear this case post-lunch. There is a possibility he could be given protection from arrest temporarily, which means he may be asked to go to the Bombay High Court seeking anticipatory bail till that time, which means the Mumbai police may not be able to arrest him in Villupuram in Tamil Nadu till the time in case the Madras High Court gives him that relief which he is seeking at this point. So yes, remains to be seen what happens in the court. Will he get any sort of release? But we know for a fact that trouble is mounting for Kunal Kamra. Multiple summons being issued to him. He's not appeared before the police, FIR registered, and he has sought death threats as a reason for not cooperating with the police at this time. This is something he has said, he has told before the Madras High Court as well as part of that transit anticipatory bail petition.
With that, we'll slip into a short break. More news and updates coming up on the other side. Do stay with us.
Together, we are sight savers. Together, with local doctors and nurses, we are treating millions of people with diseases or conditions that cause sight loss. Together with parents and carers, we are helping families live free from the fear of children going blind from avoidable causes. And together with those who have left a gift in their will to sight savers, we are doing all this and more. Since 1950, in over 30 countries, we've provided over 1.5 billion treatments to help prevent blindness and other conditions. But there's more to be done. Together, we can create a future where diseases that cause sight loss are eliminated from whole communities. Get your free guide to leaving a gift in your will by calling 0800 038 2283 or searching Sight Savers Legacy. Leave a gift in your will to Sight Savers. And together, we can create a future where no one goes blind from preventable causes.
Visit bingoaliens.com/bingo for a cosmic range of bingo games, taking bingo to another dimension at bingoaliens.com/bingo.
When I woke up, they said, Alyssa, you've got leukemia. We found out that the chemo wasn't working.
Cancer is still the biggest killer of children in the UK, but innovative new treatments could help beat cancer for more children like Alyssa.
I'm cancer-free now.
Text, call or search to give £3 a month and help build a new children's cancer centre at Great Ormond Street Hospital. So together, we can save more lives.
With retirement round the corner, I want to spend more time with my family and less time worrying about the numbers. Which reminds me.
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote.
No problem. We're proud to offer our seniors lifetime guarantee. With 100% of claims having been paid, we guarantee your premiums will never go up and that you'll speak to one of our specialists in the UK. UK residents aged 50 to 80 are guaranteed to be accepted. Depending on your age, your loved ones can get a cash payout up to £10,000.
And that money could help with funeral costs, or even as a gift for the grandkids. I'll do it.
Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card and free 24/7 GP advice and health services.
You got them all right. That's amazing.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free quote today, call our UK team on 0800 977 5808 or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
Sometimes it's the little things that remind us of them. Stay close, even when you're far apart. Send money worldwide with Remitly.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
From interesting tech startups to industry-leading companies, politics, sports, culture, curry, cricket. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Like me, if you too thrive on interesting conversations, this is a show you cannot miss. Watch this space to know more about all matters and all people that make Britain what it is today. Out of Britain, with me, Radhika Iyer.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
From interesting tech startups to industry-leading companies, politics, sports, culture, curry, cricket. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Like me, if you too thrive on interesting conversations, this is a show you cannot miss. Watch this space to know more about all matters and all people that make Britain what it is today. Out of Britain, with me, Radhika Iyer.
Welcome back. Let's get to the big international news. And a massive 7.7 magnitude earthquake and an aftershock of 6.8 magnitude. So really twin earthquakes struck central Myanmar today at 12:50 local time. The epicenter was 16 kilometers northwest of the city of Saigon and at a depth of 10 kilometers. Now the shocks of this earthquake were felt as far away as northern Thailand and in its capital Bangkok as well.